مساء الخير وأهلا بكم إلى حلقة جديدة من واشنطن أونلاين. معي أنا هدي العويس على شبكة نورث بريس. خلافات تركية أمريكية وأخرى كردية تتسبب بها محاولة اغتيال قياديين من قوات سوريا الديمقراطية في مطار السليمانية، فهل ستغير هذه الحادثة من الترتيبات داخل البيت الكردي في العراق؟ وهل ستؤثر على العلاقات الأمريكية بقسد أو تركيا؟ هذا ما نبحثه في حلقة اليوم من واشنطن أونلاين، وضيوفي لهذه الحلقة هما السيد مايلز كيجنز المتحدث السابق باسم التحالف الدولي لمقاتلة تنظيم داعش، ينضم إلينا من نيويورك. أهلا وسهلا بك معنا في واشنطن أونلاين سيد مايلز. حتى الآن ردود الأفعال الأمريكية محدودة ومقتضبة على حادثة محاولة اغتيال قياديين من قوات سوريا الديمقراطية في مطار السليمانية. كان هناك تصريح خاص من وزارة الدفاع الأمريكية لنورث بريس يدين هذه الحادثة، يتحدث عن استمرار التنسيق والشراكة مع قوات سوريا الديمقراطية، ولكن لا أكثر من هذه التصريحات التقليدية. كيف تقيم ردة الفعل الأمريكية حتى الآن على هذه الحادثة؟
Marhaba wa Ramadan Kareem. There are very clear signs that the attack on General Mazloum Abdi, as well as his U.S. advisors near Slimani Airport, was the work of Turkey. Turkey has conducted dozens of attacks on Kurdish-led security forces in Syria and Iraq. And Turkey has violated the sovereignty of Iraq many times. And the recent attack on General Mazloum is another indication that Turkey has no respect for the sovereignty of Iraq, has no respect for innocent civilian life, and will do everything it can to eliminate the leaders of the Syrian Democratic Forces.
مايلز، حضرتك قلت للواشنطن بوست أن هذه الضربات كانت عبارة عن ضربات تحذيرية من تركيا لواشنطن كي تتوقف الولايات المتحدة عن دعمها لقوات سوريا الديمقراطية. هل ستنفع فعلا هذه التحذيرات التركية؟ هل ستوقف واشنطن دعمها لقوات سوريا الديمقراطية بعد هذا الهجوم الذي كاد أن يودي بحياة مواطنين أمريكيين كانوا مع قيادات قسد، أم أن واشنطن على العكس ستضغط على تركيا بسبب هذه الحادثة التي كان من الممكن أن تتسبب باندلاع شرارة حرب مع تركيا؟
It's important to look at the history of the United States, Turkey, and the Syrian Democratic Forces since 2015. The US and the SDF became partners because ISIS was all across Syria and Iraq. And during the Battle of Kobani, where the YPJ and YPG forces fought bravely against ISIS, the United States supported those forces with airstrikes and intelligence, and later the Syrian Democratic Forces were formed. Your viewers understand that the Syrian Democratic Forces are mixed ethnicity, mixed religion, and also a male and female force. The US supported the SDF because Turkey was not being an effective partner against ISIS. Turkey's goal has been to defeat the PKK, and Turkey sees the PKK as all of the Syrian Democratic Forces. I think that the American leaders in Washington will continue to be tight-lipped. They will be quiet when Turkey is making attacks, even if those attacks are directly harming the leaders of the SDF, and the United States will be quiet even when those attacks are happening in close proximity to American forces.
مايلز، هناك بعض المؤشرات التي تدل على قدرة قيادات قسد على التحرك بالجو، على التحرك عبر المطارات وبالطيران. هل يجب أن ترفع الولايات المتحدة الحرج عن هذه المسألة وتقوم بتزويد قسد بقدرات جوية بشكل علني حتى لا تتذرع تركيا بهذه الحوادث وبأن الموضوع سري مثلا وتقوم بمثل هذه الاستهدافات؟
Let's take a holistic view, a broad view of these incidents. Going back to last year, the Turkey did a drone strike in Syria, and one of their drone strikes killed a commander of anti-terror forces. Her name was Cihan Tohildin. So it has been the desire of Turkey to attack these capable leaders of Syrian democratic forces, as well as Yekhaneyan anti-terror and Hezin anti-terror forces. The helicopter crash that happened in Iraq's Kurdistan region was carrying leaders of Yekhaneyan anti-terror. I do not have any personal knowledge about why the helicopter crashed. I do know from my military background that it is difficult to fly helicopters in the mountains, and it requires many, many, many hours of training to understand how to fly with the updrafts and downdrafts and crosswinds that are in mountainous areas. But the Turkish intelligence forces, the MIT, are very capable, and it's possible and also plausible that they could have sabotaged that helicopter. A couple of months ago, Bafel Talabani, who is the leader of the PUK political group near Slimani, as well as the coalition military commander, traveled to Rojava. They traveled to Hasaka in northeast Syria to meet with General Mazloum. So it is common for the leaders of the coalition and PUK and General Mazloum and their subordinate commanders to meet. And of course, the United States is going to help facilitate General Mazloum's travel and provide intelligence to ensure General Mazloum is protected from all threats, including ISIS and including Iranian militias that have been attacking SDF and US bases in Hasaka and Deir ez-Zor province.
هل تعتقد إذن أن الولايات المتحدة زودت قوات سوريا الديمقراطية بقدرات أو دربت أشخاص من قوات سوريا الديمقراطية على استخدام الطيران؟
The SDF do not have their own helicopters or cargo planes or transportation planes. That capability is beyond them. But any coordination across the border would be done with the knowledge of high-level officials in Iraq's Kurdistan region. And the PUK is quite capable of providing transportation in the air and on the ground for SDF leaders. And the US military is mostly focused on moving Syrian democratic forces within the nation of Syria.
نعم مايلز، من المعروف أن هناك تنسيق بين الجيشين الأمريكي والتركي حول أي تحركات تجري في المنطقة. هل من الممكن أن تكون تركيا قد استفادت من المشاركة بالمعلومات هذه لتستهدف قيادات قوات سوريا الديمقراطية؟
It is unlikely that the United States provided specific information to the Turkish government or Turkish intelligence services. The Turkish intelligence services have ability to track signals. They can track cell phone signals. They have spies on the ground in Syria and in Iraqi Kurdistan region who are listening to conversations, watching movements, and collecting information about the SDF and especially General Mazloum. Turkey is scared that the success of General Mazloum and the success of the autonomous administration might inspire more Kurdish people and other minority groups to challenge the government regime in Turkey. And that is one of the main reasons why they are attacking these leaders of the Syrian Democratic Forces, especially the Kurdish leaders.
مايلز، الولايات المتحدة مقبلة على انتخابات رئاسية العام المقبل، ولا يوجد أي رئيس أمريكي يريد أن يرى جنود أمريكيين يقتلون في الخارج قبيل أي انتخابات في أمريكا. ما هي الإجراءات التي قد تتخذها حكومة بايدن لتجنب مثل هذه الحادثة التي حصلت في مطار السليمانية؟
The United States is definitely not interested in starting a direct military confrontation with Turkey. Turkey is a NATO ally. America has troops based in Turkey, and there is a lot of economic trade that goes back and forth between the United States and Turkey. For the American politics, leaders in Washington, D.C. are displaying more and more and more reluctance and resistance for military operations in the Middle East. The American political leaders will quickly make an effort to remove troops from Syria if it becomes too much of an issue for them to face from the public. Said in a different way, if the American public begins complaining about American troops being harmed in Syria, they will start to demand that leaders in Washington answer why are those troops in Syria, and also say that those troops should leave, especially during a presidential election year in 2024.
شكرا جزيلا لك ضيفي السيد مايلز كيجنز، كنت معنا من نيويورك.
عفواً، مع السلامة.
وختاما شكرا لكل متابعي واشنطن أونلاين ونورث بريس. ألقاكم في حلقة جديدة الأسبوع المقبل. إلى اللقاء.